Hey all you zealots and zerglings, it's time for game 4 of Dunamai's Qualifier series. If you haven't seen games 1 through 3, I want you to check them right now before I talk about what happened in those games. Dunamai is currently down 1-2 after a very disappointing disconnect in his previous game that was really a long game. But you know what, it serves him right, because there were plenty of things he could have done to end that game a lot sooner that he did not. But you can watch that video to get my analysis on that. I'm not going over it again. My voice is still tired from that. I had to go get myself some nice water. I think I'll take a sip now. And we'll move right onto this map, which actually I didn't even see what map this is. This looks like a new map. I am not familiar with it at all. But Dunamai has spawned as the Red Terran up here in the northeast corner. His opponent is Centurion, the blue Zerg, in the southeast corner. So it looks like they're in close positions. If I can get an idea of what this map is, looks like you've got your natural expansion down here, and looks like some nice destructible rocks. A couple of destructible rocks will get you to your opponent's natural pretty quick. Otherwise you have to take this very long route past the watchtower in order to get to your opponent. And it looks like Centurion is going to scout. He has scouted. He's already seen in there, so I'm not really sure. Is he going back to scout again? Why would he? Must have just been rallying his drone and didn't realize that he'd found the guy, or found Dunamai. Dunamai the guy, or as I like to call him, the comeback kid. If you've seen that game where I dubbed him that nickname, I believe it is Dunamai versus Wolfpack on Jungle Basin. And what is this drone doing? Maybe just hiding out? It could be doing something tricky, but there's not a lot of tricky things you can do as a Zerg. There's not a lot you can proxy as Zerg. He could proxy a hatchery back here, which would be interesting. You don't really see that much, but then again, there's good reason for that as well. And he is getting his orbital command, and it looks like Centurion is expanding. Does he have a spawning pool yet? So no, it looks like he went. Looks like he went for maybe a 15 expand, which is standard, and will give you a really good economy. Then he went for his gas. No spawning pool yet, though. I'd kind of like to see him get a spawning pool up. Although I'm not really. I gotta learn my Zerg openings better, especially considering I am a Zerg player. But he needs to get a spawning pool. Oh, no, there's the spawning pool. Okay, I just didn't see it. I'm sorry. Maybe if I bring up the production tab, I can see what's going on. So, yeah, got a fairly early gas, though, so maybe we'll be seeing some speedlings here as soon as he gets 100 gas. We'll keep an eye on that. Nothing producing from Dunamai right now. That's a bit disappointing. And we do have a gas steal here. Pretty typical of Zerg to attempt this. Pumping out two queens here for Centurion. And he does not have that 100 gas quite yet. Almost there. Are we going to see the speed upgrade coming now? He has 100 gas. And, wow, right on 100 gas. Bam! There comes the speed upgrade. This guy seems to know what he's doing. Getting a second gas, though. Wonder what this is for. If he's going for speedlings, it's not really a high gas build, so I'm not really sure why he's getting the second gas so early. We'll have to keep an eye on that, see if we can figure out what's going on with that. Looks like we got the wall incomplete for Dunamai. Got a reactor on, so maybe he saw that last game. He's like, I want to get mass marines, which I don't know if that's going to work for him. Well, it can work against Zerg. Believe me, I've seen it. What do we got? We got a lair coming out for Centurion. Which that seems about an okay timing for that. Looks like we got a tech lab going on here. He had to move his buildings around a little bit, but that's okay. That is just fine. And what are we getting here? Tech lab. So, are we going to get some blue flame Hellions or perhaps some siege tanks? Both would be excellent against Zerg. Although it might be getting a little late for Hellions. Well, it's never too late, especially if we're going speedlings. But we check the army. Let's check the units. We got no attacking units for Centurion, so I mean, I'd like to see Dunamai put on some pressure, force the Centurion to at least attempt to produce some Zerglings. because he has got no army right now. And granted, he could put up some Zerglings pretty quick, but actually, you get some Hellions out, some Marines to back him up, and Dunamai can actually do quite a lot. And we do have a Spire coming out, which is pretty typical. So it looks to me like Centurion is probably going on some specific build, because this all seems to be about the right timing. Getting a little high on gas, maybe he's saving that for the Mutalisks, but he's going to have quite a lot of gas by the time that pops. Will he have the minerals, and will he have the larva for it when this Spire is done? Because the Spires take a long time to produce. And we're still looking at another minute before that is ready. And he's spreading his Overlords out. That's good. Keeping an eye out for any drops. So this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's getting better Overlord spread than I do. Although he could get some Overlord spread up here to the north. He knows where opponent is, and that's exactly where the drops would come from, most likely. But I don't think we're going to see any drops from Dunamai. He has a reactor on his starport, so he could start pumping out some medevacs. And we're getting this Overlord speed. Might just be for scouting purposes. Overlord speed is a really good upgrade to have. I always love it when I find the time to get it myself. We got combat shields and level 1 attack for Dunamai. I like this. Get some good upgrades. I'm not really sure what he's doing with this factory. I mean, he may build the factory just to get the starport, but now he put a tech lab on it, and it's doing nothing now. So I don't know if I agree with this. And now we're getting his flyer carapace. Oh, and he's getting 8 Mutalisks right now. And his gas has just dropped, so I guess he had that timed out just right. This guy seems to be following some plan, and I might have to watch this again and steal his build. Because it is now 9.5 minutes in. He's got some Mutalisks on the map. I don't know if I like the armor upgrade. I like to get the attack upgrade just because the Mutalisks have splash damage. And the +1 attack affects every single one of those bounces. And oh wow, he actually does have a lot of Mutalisks here. This could be very bad for Dunamai. He does not have an engineering base, so he has no missile turrets here. These Marines are going to spot it. I don't really like the Mutalisks going here. They should need to go right in the SCV line. Because, yeah, they flew right where there were actually Marines, and this is going to be a devastating attack. There are not even enough Marines. These Mutalisks could probably take on these Marines easily. I mean, you've got 7 Mutalisks against 4 Marines. And if he got the +1 attack, which even if he did, it would still only be like half done. Oh, and they're going to fly right over these Marines. That was not a good idea. And one of them dies. 2 of them are really on the verge of... Oh, no! And just a miss rally there. He did not get his Mutalisks to safety, and he loses one. Another one. That is not good. And... oh, we do have a missile turret. Excellent response from Dunamai, getting that missile turret up like a champ. Maybe he had an engineering bay I wasn't aware of. Oh, of course he did, because he was getting the level 1 attack upgrade. So yes, he did have that. But these Mules are going to try to take it out, but they are going to take heavy casualties. I'm not sure I like this. He probably could have got some SCVs on there to repair that missile turret easily, because there are only 2 Mutalisks left. If he'd put a couple SCVs on there to repair that turret, they would have died. And his Marines are going to clean that up. So good response from Dunamai to something that I thought he was going to be in major trouble, but he responded like a champ. So that was excellent. He needs to rebuild that missile turret, though. And he's getting an expansion, though. He needs to get a missile turret up there now. I mean, he knows Mutalisks are on the map. He knows they're coming from his south. So he needs to... I mean, he's even scouted his opponent. He has not even scouted his opponent. He has not scanned his opponent. He is just playing blind. So I would like him to get a missile turret up there right now. Because the Mutalisks are going to hit right there. And we are getting some Zerglings in this army now. No upgrades for the Zerglings, though. The Mutalisks do have the level 1 carapace. A Baleen nest going down plus burrow, so we're going to see some little green landmines. I don't know. And now this army's moving out. Has he even scanned for anything yet? He still doesn't know where his opponent is, so I'm not sure where this army is going. We need to tell him not to play scouting with your army. You need to know where your opponent is by 13 minutes into the game. And especially since the Mutalisks were coming from the south, there's a pretty good bet that that's where the Zerg base is. And oh no, his units are out of position because he doesn't know where the Zerg is. And there's no missile turret at this base like I told him to put up almost immediately. This expansion is going to go down. He has 3 Marines. Well, he's got 7 Marines at this base. This supply is not going to do anything to defend his base, and he is apparently just going to let this thing die. I don't know what his army's doing. You should not move out with your entire army when you don't know where your enemy is. That was a huge mistake. This command center is dead. There's no way he's going to get an SCV out here to repair it in time. Oh, and he got that Marine killed because it was misrallied. And what is his army doing? His army's not even coming back. And oh no, we got a ton of banelings here. I'm not exactly sure what they're going to attack, but they're going to be obliterate this front wall. What they really need to do is just go right into his mineral line and destroy that. And oh, that's what they're trying to do. Oh, and they bottom and blow up on that poor SCV, but oh, he needs to get his SCVs out of there. And oh, the SCVs are just going, oh, completely went up. Oh, it's just brutal. Absolutely brutal. He was not ready for that attack whatsoever, and he needed to actually lift that up. At least force the banelings to blow up on your supply depot instead of just letting them walk right through. So that was not good. And now we're getting the +1 attack for the Mutalisk, and 6 more are on the way. Now he knows where his opponent is, and he is trying to destroy this base. The drones are going to burrow defensively. That's a pretty good attack. It looks like these Mutalisks are going to just be able to clean up those Marines, which is unfortunate. And now these Marauders are sitting ducks. They probably, yeah, I don't think they can outrun the Mutalisks, so they need to get in here and do as much damage as possible. Stim and take out this lair as quickly as you can. I don't think they're going to do it, though. No, they're going to clean that up, but he did take out the expansion, but we do have a third base here. I'm surprised I didn't even see that going down. So he is keeping on top of his bases. What do we got producing here now? Just Marines. Check the, oh, I did have the production tab up. We are producing, Centurion's producing nothing. We got a couple Marines coming out for Dunamai. Centurion's got a ton of resources. He needs to be doing something with his larva. He could have a whole, I mean, he could have a whole army built up again by now. I mean, he could have a critical mass of mutas right now. Dunamai does not have enough to defend against mutas anymore. He would, I don't know what he can do now. He lost too many SCVs against those banelings. And with as aggressive as the Zerg has been, I think Dunamai's done. The Zerg is, I mean, Centurion is not let up, and oh, these poor medevacs. There's nobody in them. Oh, he was trying to keep him with his army, and that is going to get all these Marines killed now without a medevac. They're going to try to do some damage. They know they can't run away. They're going to stim up, but they did not do nearly enough damage to those Mutalisks. They're still looking pretty strong. A couple of them died, but a lot more resources and Marines, I think, went down. Check the units lost. Actually, the Zerg is a little bit behind. It might have been because those banelings do count in units lost, and he had a lot of banelings he used. But the Zerg is way ahead right now. Double expanding. Oh my goodness, this guy is just going for the jugular. He's like, I'm just gonna destroy you, and I'm just gonna macro like a madman. Meanwhile, Dunamai is barely on one base, which there's not much he can do. I mean, he can't really expand because he has no SCVs to expand with. Although he could get he could get another command center out to at least produce SCVs just to get him back to where he is. And not sure what these Mutalisks are doing. They might be scouting for hidden expansions. Both players have decided to go up here looking for bases that weren't there. Go back to the production tab. I don't even dare look at the income tab. Well, let's look at it anyhow. And yeah, Centurion is destroying him. 57 harvesters to 11. Oh my goodness, I think I have a pain in my chest from just looking at that. That is absolutely brutal, and it looks like these Mutalisks could just practically finish everything off right now. He sees there's nothing left of the natural. He knows Dunamai's only on one base, most likely. There's no one guarding the south wall. I mean, actually, if these guys moved out, he could just pull around here and just start taking out things. You gotta be a little careful with his Mutalisk, although he's got a critical mass here. He could easily take this out. This Viking was not a good investment. Vikings do nothing against Mutalisks. That Smith's turret is going to go down. Nothing can save it. He's going to run his SCVs out of there, but there's nothing he can do. Even these Marines, I really think these Marines these Mutalisks straight up could take on these Marines. But instead, he's going to be a little safe. He needs to get his Mutalisks out of there. If you're not going to take the Marines on head on, don't just let him get a bunch of free shots. I think this is just about done. He's getting a level 2 attack from his Mutas, something you don't usually see that often, but hey, why not? He's on 4 bases to 1. I mean, I know Zerg want to stay up in bases on the other opponents, but I mean, 4 to 1, come on. And now what is he researching? He's getting pathogens in the glands. Is he going to go for infestors? And he's getting his hive right now. And where's his infestation pit? Yeah, it looks like he's going to go infestors now. I'm not really sure why. Is he toying with Dunamai? Because he doesn't need infestors to win this. His Mutalisk could win straight up. I mean, look at it. He just needs to pump out Mutalisks, and this game's over. I mean, this game's over now. He just needs to finish him off. The Marines are gonna go down, and like I said, Vikings are gonna do nothing against Mutalisks. They don't shoot fast enough and do 0 splash damage and do 0 bonus damage. And now it's just gonna be a matter of rolling over the rest of his base. And Dunamai's gonna give the GG. He was never really in a good position in that game, but I think his biggest mistake was when he had his army across the map when the attack came and when he didn't even know where his opponent was. So that is unfortunate for Dunamai, but very fortunate for Centurion, who seemed to have a very precise build that I'm going to have to review again and possibly steal. But let us move on to Game 5, and have a day.